I'm gonna be 100% real with all y'all. I don't know how the hell this entire story is gonna go down. It has been constantly throwing curveballs at me since it began. Honestly, the whole thing started out rather ho-hum in comparison to everything we'd gone up to this point, but it very wildly escalated into something that I was not mentally prepared for. My god. Man, alright, this game. Alright, let's play. What's happening next? You doing okay, John? I would imagine you're probably not, but I still feel the need to ask. So that guy was my dad. He found out about his own birth so suddenly. And furthermore, his newfound father is no longer in this world. I've always been searching for my dad. John. I get it, all right. He's the president. I know it's a complicated situation. But we even met face to face during the filming. So then why, huh? Why didn't he tell me who he really was? I'm sorry, John. Well, you don't need to apologize. No matter how you look at it, it's my fault. Yesterday I broke my promise with you and didn't even notice the fire on the roof. So I destroyed everything. I crushed it all. My dad and those flowers that my mom carefully grew. John, please, for now, just don't think about anything. Just stay like this for a little while. Just for a little while, okay? Poor kid. The bond between a parent and child. That's the meaning behind lion lilies. And I know it's not my style, but that flower is from Zhengfa. For not being your style, you do seem to know it. Interesting that. However, we have no means of protecting that bond. Agent Lang, allow me to say this. The case won't be solved by sentimentality alone. Therefore, shouldn't we do all that we can to solve it? Yeah, you're right. The recreation of the past is finished. Were your father's deductions correct? My old man took his deductions to the grave. He never told anyone about them. So who knows if they were right or not. In that case, what about your own deductions? I would like to hear what you think happened based on the recreation. In order for us to get closer to the truth of 12 years ago. Yeah, I was thinking it's about time. I can see it now. My old man's back real close. And I'll catch up to him for sure. To the truth that my old man uncovered. Alright. This is less me trying to prove you wrong and more so us just kind of bouncing our concepts against each other to see what's what. So don't take offense. There's no mistake that the president went to the orphanage. The stuffed toy is proof of that. He was planning to meet with Amy Marsh. However, the president was kidnapped, and Cameron just happened to witness it. If Cameron hadn't been there, it probably would have just been a kidnapping with no murder. Afterwards, the body was moved to the flower beds and a fake photo was taken. Okay, well, I'm already seeing a bit of an issue there. Because there was... Okay, I'm not saying that there was a murder, but there was definitely something, at least an assault. There was a lot of blood. Is that really what happened 12 years ago? We gonna find out real fast, let me tell you. However, there's one thing I still don't get. Something you don't get? It's this. Why did they need to fake a photo? Why would they go through all that trouble and even make the president take part in the photo? That's true. However, the answer to that riddle must lie somewhere within. Once we get past the layers upon layers of deductions, we shall surely reach it. Yeah, that's right. I'd like to hear your deductions as well. The only way I know how to present my own thoughts and opinions is by tearing down the thoughts and opinions of others. Once again, I'm going to have to very humbly ask you to not take offense. But that's just kind of how I do. Alright then, so... first and foremost, what makes the most sense to me to do this is to go to here. And if there was nothing of the sort, then why was blood completely unrelated to him there? Objection! That's what I would like to know. There's also the fact that literally none of us have brought up the fact that frickin' Dogen is in that picture. I find that weird. If the eyewitness Cameron had not been there, no murder would have taken place. Is that really the case? The criminal's goal was only to kidnap the president. If there were no witnesses, there would have been no need to commit murder, right? And what if Cameron wasn't the only one who was murdered? There was a large bloodstain near the flower beds. However, Cameron was murdered near the snowman. Ergo, this bloodstain could not have belonged to Cameron. Someone else's blood was spilled. Quite a vast amount at that. Alright, I shall slow down. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor. Do you have any idea what you're saying? I do. It's hard to believe, however, that is what the evidence indicates. On that night, 12 years ago, there were 2 murders. Are you saying that the other murder was covered up? Who the heck could have been killed? Okay, so this is gonna sound kind of cuckoo bananas, if I'm being 100% real with you. But it's just, you know how Lang said that, 12 years ago, the president and his dad were all hunky-dory, all is super good, all is super great, and then it was like he became an entirely different person? You know how we also heard about the fact that the president used body doubles? You know how... Wait, if my theory is true, hang on. That would actually even explain why he wouldn't talk to John, because well, there you go. Okay, well, now I'm actually kind of convinced. Because why would the president not bother to tell John that he's their father? Because you wouldn't know. He wouldn't have been. How would he know? I think I got something here. Ha-ha! The murder that was cleverly concealed. All traces of it were erased. And the incident itself was completely deleted from the case files. However, there's one thing. One piece of evidence that still remains intact after 12 years. This piece of evidence shows that something happened that night. If I had to wager a guess or two, it's probably this. Can we please bring up the Dogen thing now? The other murder incident was buried in the dark by Blaze de Best. However, there is still one piece of evidence that remains. Idjit Lang, it's revived by your father's hands. My old man, you say? A very old man indeed. Please recall. There was one more thing that was hidden along with the traces of the murder. And that is the existence of the boy who caused the fire. Why did Blaze make the boy disappear? It's because he saw something that he wasn't supposed to see. What was the thing he wasn't supposed to see? Everything is drawn in this picture. Look at this mess! The drawing my old man had. The person drawn on the right is most likely the president, given it looks exactly like him. I mean, in a very childish way, obviously. The Mozilla doll is also drawn near him. And the person standing opposite him is... I mean, freaking duh to the ultimate power. Hang on, where are you? There you are.
Take that!
Who else could it be? A man with a knife and a large black dog. I mean, come on now, people. He's none other than Sirhan Dogen. What? The assassin? Why would an assassin appear before a president? The answer is clear. Indeed, what occurred that night on the orphanage ground 12 years ago was not a kidnapping. It was a presidential assassination. Then Miss Roland and Mr. Blaze were... Yes, the two were likely partners in crime. The jury is still out on the animal around her neck. We don't know if they're complicit. One furnished to the orphanage to use as the scene of the incident, and the other covered up the young boy's testimony. It's likely that Mr. Cameron was murdered because he witnessed the assassination itself. After all, the kidnapping never actually happened. Stop messing around! You're saying that the president was assassinated 12 years ago? You said it yourself that he seemingly turned into a different person. We just found his body today. He's been alive up until now. That's right. I mean, we met him ourselves. The president was assassinated 12 years ago, and the president's body was found today. That would imply there were 2 presidents. Yeah, and that can't be right. Are you sure about that? There is the possibility that there were 2 presidents. That's right. Up until now, I've been getting a strange feeling from the president. See, he didn't even bring it back! Even so, I still respect the man. Zayfa's a small country, but he carried the nation with his strength. That doesn't sound like the one that we met. The image of President Huang that Agent Lang described. I don't feel like that dude at all. You're wrong, You revealed his true form. Differs far too greatly from the President Huang we knew. It's as if they were two entirely different people. If there were, in fact, two Zengfa presidents, exactly how would such a scenario be possible? With the body doubles we kept hearing about, or at least they said it once, and I just really remember it. Either way, a twin brother! That'd be neat. But no, it was totes a body double. It would make sense for a president constantly on the verge of being assassinated. And also being assassinated. It makes sense. If we were to assume that one of them was a body double, wouldn't it be possible then? A body double? President Huang possessed immense power and authority in Zengfa. I'm sure there were those who envied his position and made attempts on his life. Yes, just as he was attacked a few days ago at Gourd Lake. It's true, there were those who sought Huang's life from time to time. But I can't easily believe there were two presidents. At least not without any evidence. Do I have evidence that proves there were two presidents? I think I do, yeah? Hang on. I want to say something in here, right? Until midnight. An appointment at midnight in the courtyard. Right. Yeah, that would make sense. Has Agent Lang not noticed this contradiction? Or has he noticed it but can't admit it? I suppose either is a possibility. This is a very emotionally taxing time for everyone. What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't shout something out only to suddenly clam up. According to the recording on the doll, the president visited the orphanage at midnight. However, that should not have been possible. Huh? Why's that? Why? Because at the time, the president should have been at the embassy. He was together with Agent Lang's father. So how did he do it twice? That makes sense, I'd think. So, Agent Lang, you really did notice. He was in two places at the same time. Ergo, there must have been two presidents, or he's the Flash. Either one would be pretty dope. Which of the two was the real president on that day 12 years ago? I'm pretty sure the real one got off last time. I feel like it would have been way easier to stage that photo if it was the fake. Most likely the one who died. Who contracted Dogen to murder Huang? In order to learn that, first, we must have a look at the evidence that we proved was false earlier. We learned, that, I just had that. It was, it was this. It'd be so much easier to fake a photo if the body double was in on it. The photo taken with Cameron's camera was taken after he was murdered. And he was murdered because he witnessed the presidential assassination. In other words, the photo must have been taken following the assassination. Given that, who is the president pictured in the fake photo? We must consider him to be the body double. In other words, the body double had the real president murdered and then took his place. Patricia, Roland, and Blaze must have cooperated in that plan. All right. Hold it! Huang's body was never found. Just where could it have disappeared to? Oh, I think I've got an idea for that one, too. The answer to that is already quite apparent. This is where the real president's body was. It morbid as hell, but hang on. Where is it? Yeah, it would be in here. There ain't no damn ransom money. It was a whole ass corpse. Last night, there was something Blaze had to unearth with his own two hands. That item was not the ransom. It was something far more important. So Blaze unburied the real president's body. The possibility is quite high. What'd you say? The bones from the body buried 12 years ago would have still remained. According to Mr. Powers, construction was to begin soon at this lot. That was the deadline. Both for the movie and retrieval of the body. Because they would have found the body when they started the construction. Agent Lang, let us search the footprints that Blaze dug up. Yeah. If the body was buried there, there'd be traces of it. Hey, somebody call forensics. One forensics team inspection later, I have the results of the search. We found traces in the dirt that suggest a body was buried here. So it was Huang after all. We also recovered the skeletal remains that Blaze DeBest dug up. They were in his home. That's disgusting. In addition to the bone structure, the dental records and the bone fractures all match up. We can confirm that it was indeed President Huang. That's morbid and gross and messed up. Ugh! So the real President Huang was indeed killed 12 years ago. The SS5 incident was a murder. The hits keep coming and they don't stop coming. So the SS5 incident was actually a murder incident. But there's so much information. It's way too confusing. I'm with you there, Kay. Goddamn. Indeed. Let's take this opportunity to review the details of the case. First, the real president came to the orphanage, right? 12 years ago, the true President Huang visited the orphanage in order to meet his son. The footsteps in the snow that we thought belonged to Mr. Cameron were most likely made by the president at that time. Makes sense, makes sense. President Huang was supposed to meet his son here. However, the one who actually showed up was the assassin, Sirhan Dogen. He came here to meet his son, but was murdered instead. How horrible. A man like Dogen shows no mercy. And after that, the second tragedy occurred. You mean Mr. Cameron's murder? Indeed. Mr. Cameron saw the decisive moment. After the real president was killed by Dogen, his body was carried to the rear courtyard by the team of kidnappers. Mr. Cameron must have witnessed that moment from the orphanage entrance. Although he himself believed that he had actually witnessed a kidnapping, I guess he wouldn't have known. It was just two people carrying him off. Ugh. Furthermore, by this time, the body double who had come to meet up with Blaze and Miss Rowland was already standing behind Mr. Cameron. Then, the witness to the incident, Mr. Cameron, was killed by the body double. So, was Mr. Cameron's corpse also carried by the body double? Yes, that seems likely. But there wasn't anything at the crime scene that looked like the body double's footprints. I've already figured out how he accomplished that. There's a piece of evidence that would have made it possible. Shoes? What did the body double use to move the body without leaving any footprints? That's gonna, yeah, that would make shit. It would be the shoes. This is almost certainly how the body double carried Mr. Cameron's corpse. With his feet. After Mr. Cameron was killed, the president's body double carried him into the middle of the garden. And I suspect the body double was wearing the same shoes as the real president at the time. If he made sure to step precisely on top of the footprints left by the real president. Nefarious, but likely. Since the shoes were the same, who'd have ever known? There would only be one set of footprints left behind in the snow. I think I've got a pretty good grasp on the SS5 incident now. But there's still one thing I don't get. What's that? Why do they need to stage the abduction? Because Mr. Cameron witnessed the incident. He saw the president at the orphanage. I mean, I feel like they would have preferred to just off the president, bury him, and then have the body double swoop in and pretend to be him from the get-go. But, you know, that was an interesting wrinkle in problems, I would imagine. He left behind witness testimony on Miss Crane's answering machine, so they kinda had to come up with something. Even Blaze couldn't make that disappear. Ergo, the body double needed a reason for the president to have been at the orphanage. That's why they prepared the fake kidnapping charade. Or charade, whatever. The people in the fake photo are the body double and most likely Patricia Rowland. The person in the coat is Miss Rowland? What makes you say that? The two would have to leave the orphanage in order to take the picture. Just like when he moved the body, the double used the real president's footprints. So the second set of footprints must belong to the person in the coat. Indeed. We originally believed that those footprints belonged to Cameron's killer. They were size 7 footprints, too small for Blaze's feet. Thus, we can presume that the person playing the part of the kidnapper was Patricia Rowland. Hidden in the shadow of the presidential kidnapping was a presidential assassination. Goddamn, man. Goddamn. Let me see. So that's why my old man... Why he... What? The old man must have realized that a murder had taken place. After all, he had the kid's drawing. However, that picture was never presented as evidence. Your father likely took it from the young witness during the investigation and hid it. He had to have known that Huang was dead. But what if he had revealed that back then? Reveal the death of the president, the backbone of Zhengfa? It would have caused chaos. That's why my old man took the secret to his grave. He even took the blame for the kidnapping, knowing that would be the fall of the House of Lang. Damn. Your dad's kind of a badass, dude. So this is the truth that Agent Lang's father hid 12 years ago. And now it's all become clear. Well, the House of Lang has been reinstated, or at the very least it has the ability to do so now. Is that really the case, I wonder? Who saith that? Whomstedivdivd? Eh? What? Who's there? Oh. That bell. It's... Sir Dogen and his creepy skull! Ah! Also a dog. You! Why are you here? How can you just brazenly show up here? Who do you think you are, pal? I found the conversation most intriguing, and I just... well... Are you feeling nostalgic about an old murder of yours? You're the one who killed Huang. Nostalgia? I think not. You were speaking about the person I am searching for. You're searching for someone? I escaped from prison in order to meet with a young acolyte. The one who wore the red raincoat. Hello! The red raincoat? Who is this person? Reveal your secrets, old man! I suspect that it's the same person as the mastermind you are searching for. Well, that's interesting. Okay. Someone you've been searching for, the one in the red hood. The red hood. Don't they seem surprised, Anubis? Yes, they are, my boy. 12 years ago, this young acolyte saved my life? What? Oh, okay, now this is happening, apparently. All right. I'm curious. Certainly. It was I who killed President Huang. However, my life was also targeted on that day. The body double, Blaze, and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. Had I not been reunited with the young acolyte back then, I would have been in danger. Reunited? But alas, even to this day, I do not know what has become of the young acolyte. So, your client was indeed the body double who was the main perpetrator of the crime. It was a long time ago, but I remember his words even now. There have been countless attempts on my life. Not just once or twice. Countless. And yet, why must I be the only one to face the danger? When I stand before the people, I garner the same respect as the president does. Tell me, just what is the difference between him and me? I mean, one's an actual elected official and the other is just pretending? That's my guess. The difference was great. While the voice and style of speech may be the same. One can mimic the body, but the heart cannot be reproduced. I suppose his own weaknesses cost him in his quest to become a leader. Now the Rook's gone, I'm in charge. I'm not sure if you're as capable as Rook was. What are you saying? I'm totally the leader now. Perhaps the king and his knight were not so different after all. Damn. The double believed that the president's only weakness was a woman called Amy. To find the woman, he needed the assistance of someone from this country. So he joined forces with Blaze. After determining her whereabouts, he simply waited for the right opportunity. That chance came with the meeting at the orphanage. Indeed. The director of the orphanage was bribed and brought in as an accomplice. Must be referring to Patricia Rowland. Well, given what I've told you, do you realize the whereabouts of the young acolyte now? The whereabouts? No. You mean the boy who saved you, but how do you know that he is the mastermind? That day, the young one caused a fire at the garden of the orphanage. You're talking about the kid who started the fire as a prank. A prank? Not at all. On that night 12 years ago, the young acolyte was hiding inside the igloo. Okay, it seems he witnessed Patricia and Blaze moving the body from his hiding place. What was he doing there? Apparently, he heard them talking during that time. It would seem that they were planning to kill me because I knew the truth. He immediately came to the main hall to tell me that. I learned this about the young acolyte sometime late. My brain is racing here. It seems he was wearing a red raincoat at the time. He led me out of the main hall. And then the young acolyte said he was going to get rid of our footprints. So he scattered some lamp oil near the igloo over the snow. Then he boldly set the oil ablaze. No way! So he set the fire in order to... All their focus was diverted towards the burning flames. I took the opportunity to escape through the rear exit. So, the boy in the red raincoat is the mastermind behind this case? Okay, so this is going to sound crazy. But seeing as how I was right about my first crazy thought, I might as well throw this one out there too. So basically, the child in question was not murdered or disappeared. They vanished. I just can't help but think to myself, there was another person who vanished. We learned about them in a prior case, right? And I thought that was interesting because now that I look back on it, I mean, other than just kind of, you know, making the case a little more interesting, I suppose, it didn't really play into anything. And I feel like this game is written so well and competently that they wouldn't just toss this out and have it ultimately mount to nothing. I mean, this doesn't tell me who it is, but is the mastermind Gustavia's kid? Who also vanished around the same time? Is that not a thing? Am I misremembering a number here? I'm not sure. Okay. I mean, that's incredibly well put together. That does nothing to tell me who it is, but that's still amazing. Exactly. Isn't that right, Anubis? Yes, boy. Yes, it is. I see. Okay. Okay, alright, so you did the thing. Your life was targeted because, yeah, the body double Blaze and Patricia all sought to seal my lips. But I'd not been reunited. Okay, yeah, no, I'm very interested in that. What do you mean by reunited? Reunited? So, when did you first meet with him? That would be 18 years ago, on the 24th of December. That is a rather long time ago. On that day, our roles were reversed. I saved the young one's life. There was an unusual snowstorm on that day. The temperature was well below freezing. I took Anubis for a walk in the snow. That's when Anubis noticed something and started running. I followed after him and found a car. I had great difficulty opening the door. It had frozen shut. Dude! I don't remember the picture exactly, but that's gotta be them! Wait. Okay, I just need a little bit more information. Let's keep going. 2 children? Had they remained in that car for an hour longer, they surely would have frozen to death. I brought the 2 of them to a nearby orphanage. Is there anything about Dogen's story that concerns me? Yeah! What concerns me is, the date. The 24th of December, 18 years ago. Yeah! Are you sure about that? There is no mistake. Could that mean? I know. The significance behind that date. What shows the significance of the date when... You know, I just realized it makes a lot of sense why this was given to me now. Hang on, where is it? Yeah, here we go! Here we go! There was a reason I was holding this! That day, a certain incident occurred. A sculptor was murdered. Ah. During that incident, 2 young boys went missing. It totally is them! The sons of the victim, Isaac Dover, and the culprit, Dane Gustavia. We never did find out where those 2 boys... we never did find out where those 2 boys went after the case 18 years ago. Oh? They were the sons of a victim and a culprit. It all makes sense now. What makes sense? One of the youths was bound so that he could not move. Mr. Dover did it so that Mr. Gustavia's son couldn't come to the contest venue. Indeed. Gustavia was using his own son as a taste tester. To think that was what transpired. Neither child seemed to recall what had happened. They lost their memories? The acolyte told me this when we were reunited 12 years ago. The pair were placed in an extreme situation, on the verge of freezing to death. That trauma led them both to suffer from amnesia. Neither could so much as remember his own name. So they didn't even know that they were the sons of Mr. Dover and Mr. Gustavia. Indeed. While we cannot say it conclusively, the probability is quite high. However, we still don't have enough information to deduce the mastermind's identity. I wonder about that. Dogen, would you please continue your story? Very well. I continued my correspondence with the young acolyte even after entering prison. Recently, that has all come to an abrupt halt, however. It left me quite concerned. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago were all drawn into incidents one by one. I grew more and more curious, and so I absconded briefly from the prison. Okay. Those involved 12 years ago. Were Patricia Rowland Blaise de Best and President Huang's body double? And Miss Rowland was the warden of Mr. Dogen's prison. I blackmailed the warden. That woman had tried to kill me. Perhaps the good prosecutor has already deduced the reason. Yeah, kinda. Well, there are way more layers to that than I would have thought. You're not literally just a one-off character, serial killer, assassin person. You have more to you than that. Goddamn. You murdered President Huang. However, the world still believes he was alive. If you were able to prove the president was a fake, both Patricia Rowland and Blaise de Best would have been in danger. That is correct. And I had heard the proof with my own ears. I'll be waiting in the courtyard at the orphanage at midnight on February 9th. Even if it's just once, I want John to be able to meet you. I'm sorry if I'm being selfish, but I'll be waiting. Who might you be? My apologies, but I am presently waiting for someone. I'm well aware of that, President Huang. Are you not meeting with your son? However, I do not spill blood needlessly. You may relax. I seek only the president's life. It can't be. Please wait. I'm just about to meet my son for the first time. I'm sure this will be the first and the last time. But please, at least wait until we're finished. I had thought the president would beg for his life, but he was of a different sort. Officially, the president had no son. However, he shook his head and said this illegitimate son was his, and he intended to recognize him publicly. Furthermore, he claimed that he had already made preparations towards that end. Would that son of his be the boy with horns over there by any chance? Boy with the horn... Wait, you can see John's horns? Wait, oh yeah, I forgot you're blind, what? There's no need to see them. From the moment I escaped from prison until now, I have been closely lending an ear to your voices. He said that the president made preparations towards recognizing his son. But the word preparations alone would be insufficient for blackmail. That's it! There was one thing that could prove Huang's words. The will held by the House of Lang. It was also proof of his trust in us. His son's existence would have been revealed to the world. The name of the recording, the mention of preparations, and the will in Zhengfa. Together they suffice to make the warden bow to my words. That's a lot of motivation. With those 3 pieces of information, one could prove the identity of the double. Easily. By using John. Poor kid was a bit of a pawn in all this. The president blocked the first strike of my knife with something soft. As pieces of it fell atop the snow, I struck once more. This time, the blow proved fatal. That would explain why the doll lost a horn. So Dogen cut off the Mozilla doll's horn. None but I heard his final words. Only myself and that child knew of the president's secret son. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this. In other words, you contacted him from prison. That is correct. A post office box was used. A post office box? It would allow one to send and receive letters without revealing the recipient's location. I could not use a form of correspondence that would reveal the acolyte's location. There was someone keeping watch over my correspondence, after all. You must mean the prison warden, Patricia Rowland. Could you be more specific about the nature of your correspondences? Well, they were mainly moves from my correspondence chess matches. Correspondence chess. If I recall, the person you were playing against... This might be hard to believe, but Dogen's chess opponent was... Are you saying he was playing against Mr. Knightley? Wasn't it Horace Knightley? He certainly found the correspondence chess memo in Knightley's cell. Okay, alright. Does that mean Knightley Boy was the kid from the IS-7 incident? Could that really be true? That's kind of where I was thinking. But, there's a wrinkle in that. Okay, is there any evidence connecting Knightley to the IS? Yeah, there is.
Take that.
There surely is. This was all that Knightley left behind. Could there be a clue hidden within? Which should I investigate? The ring or the chessboard? I'm gonna go with the ring on this one. This ring is... Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? Mr. Shields, please take a look at this ring. This pattern is... It's Pierre Huquet's! I thought so. He had Mr. Dover's seal turned into a ring. However, why would he have this? Shouldn't it have been held by the police as evidence from the IS-7 incident? After the incident, the seal was returned to the victim's next of kin. And Mr. Dover's only family was his son. But since no one knew where his son had gone to, it took a while to get it to him. I'd heard that the police had finally found him and delivered his inheritance, but... So the seal was thereby safely delivered to his son. And then he turned the seal into a ring and wore it on his person. Okay. I don't want to be wrong. I really don't want to be wrong, but, Well, it's just considering that Knightley is dead and there's still a mastermind running around. Who do we know who's connected to him? You know, someone else of the same cloth, perhaps? Like, this sounds actually insane. Mr. Knightley was Mr. Dover's son. Police aren't fools. I'm sure they did a thorough check before handing over the seal. If someone involved in the IS-7 incident was his chess opponent... Knightley, huh? And that man must be the mastermind behind this case. No! No, it can't. But Knightley is dead. He cannot be involved in this incident. How about that? The only one who could be the mastermind was himself a murder victim. But a dead guy can't be the culprit. So there's no way that's right. It certainly is strange. In that case, who is the culprit? Recently, that has all come to... Oh. Okay. Furthermore, those involved in the crime 12 years ago, well, is there anything new added? Writing letters in Braille can be a rather enjoyable pastime. But, wait, hang on though, but... Yeah, no. This isn't Braille at all. I'm certain you said you wrote your letters in Braille. Correct. The good prosecutor must know that I am lacking in sight, do you not? The correspondence chest letter we found had been typed out using a word processor. What? That cannot be. What do you mean? So, someone went out of their way to retype the letters on a computer? Could another person have acted as a middleman between Dogen and Knightley? What do you mean? Dogen wrote his letters in Braille. However, by the time it reached Knightley, it had been rewritten on a word processor. We must assume that some middleman rewrote those letters. And the reverse can also be said. The same somebody might have taken the letters Knightley wrote and re-delivered them to Dogen. Yes, that is indeed true. Okay. Knightley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Dogen, were the letters that reached you... They were in Braille, of course. So Knightley Boy's letters must have been transposed by the same person as well. Oh? Then that somebody must be... the mastermind behind the case. Yep, I just realized he was at the thing with the fireworks and the bang, and that's what they were It's Simon. It's Simon. I don't... Abadabua! Who the hell is it? Dover's son, Knightley, is already deceased. In that case, there is one more youth that we should consider to be the mastermind. You mean Dane Gustavia's son? Who the heck is he? If Knightley is Dover's son, then Gustavia's son must be... Well, we're the only friends either of us have had since childhood. He was the same as me. We never had real families. Oh my god. It can't be. Could it? Could it really be him?
It couldn't be anybody else at this point.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is it? You've gone all pale. I figured it out. The identity of the mastermind who's been controlling this case from the shadows. Who in the world is it? I don't want to believe it myself, but it is someone we know quite well. The mastermind is... The mastermind behind this case sent a letter to Jill Crane which deceived Blaze. Furthermore, he kidnapped John and eavesdropped on us. And he would have had the opportunity to do that. However, of all his actions, the one I had not been able to get out of my mind is how he brought an unconscious Kay to the roof. The giant monster. Huh? Did you just say something? That's right. The key to exposing the mastermind is in the monster's true form. I almost forgot. If you'd like, please come to our next show. I'll also be performing in it. The Very Big Circus is always fabulous and fun for all ages. Miss Swift, there is something I would like to ask of you. What? You mean me? You said that you recorded the sound of Mozilla spewing flames. Would this decisive evidence of yours be something you recorded on that tape recorder? That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. You're good at figuring things out, aren't you? It's the sound of Mozilla spewing out fire. This place nearly became a sea of flames. That's right. I ain't actually seen it with my own eyes, though. Could you let us listen to that tape without you yelling over it if it's all the same? Sure thing. There we go. This sound. It's as I thought. So it seems that my reasoning was correct. The true nature of the monster and the mastermind. All of my logic is coming together. I'm not sure what's going on! Miss Hart, you said that you captured a giant eye on film, did you not? Sure did. Right here in this photo. Though we cannot confirm it like this. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir. Lend us your film analysis device. Okay, but what do you want to analyze, sir? This photo. Please. I'm on it. Is there a new clue in this photo? I mean, that is a big ol'... Oh. I think okay. This is, see? Ain't the Mozilla's eye right where I said it would be? I see. I finally grasped the true form of this giant monster that was being controlled by the mastermind. Giant monster? Are you admitting it? You are, aren't you? You're admitting the mind of Mozilla is real? I am doing no such thing. No, this is not Mozilla. This is the eye of a different monster. Please have a look at this. It was the lion. It's a hot air balloon! It's a flyer for the Berry Big Circus. This is... Precisely. There's a rather large balloon with the flame spewing was the balloon! With the head of a lion pictured here. This balloon is the true identity of the giant monster. In addition, the sound Miss Swift recorded when she believed to be Mozilla spewing flames. Mr. Prosecutor, don't tell me you're gonna say something that'll shatter my dreams of a scoop. This is still technically a scoop. Hot air balloons fly by using burners to heat the air, right, sir? Precisely, Detective. The mastermind used this monster of his to bring Kay to the rooftop of the Grand Tower without using the elevator. Wouldn't that mean that the mastermind is someone connected to the circus? Now that I've firmly established that the mastermind has to be somebody involved with the circus, I can now safely yell out the fact that it was freaking Simon, and nobody in this room is going to immediately go, that's impossible. Because then they're going to think about it more. The more they think about it, the more sense it's going to make. Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. He's a member of the circus, Knightley's friend, and Dane Gustavia's son. What? Who'd have thunk it? An apprenticed beast tamer? He's no amateur. Oh my god! For the beast he has tamed is none other than this entire case. I mean, not just this case, but like... Simon Keyes, he is the mastermind behind this whole incident. Mr. Keyes was really behind it all? No way. I don't believe it. I mean, we trusted him. How could it have all been a lie? That's just heartbreaking. Okay. What is it? Hey, you! Stop! Where do you think you're going? The boy with horns is rather perceptive. The good prosecutor has done a remarkable job. Now that I've heard that, I have no further business here. Wait! Dogen! Okay, dog is angry. Oh, dear God! Damn it! Where'd he vanish to? Really, none of you could follow him? Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. However, that guy... John? That Dogen guy. He's the one who killed my dad, right? There's no question more difficult to answer. However, there's no use in denying the truth. Yes, John, you are correct. He'll pay for this. I swear he's gonna pay. I'll make him pay myself. Nope, nope, nope. John! You mustn't finish that thought! Prosecutor Edgeworth, please pay us no mind. Sir, I've put out an APB on Dogen. All available police units will be searching for him. That's cool, that's great, that's cool and great and all that business. But also, could we maybe get an APB on the other guy? You're the man, kid. I don't mean to be heartless, but we need to hurry too. So, Mr. Prosecutor, where's the mastermind right now? Agent Ling is right. Our top priority now should be catching the mastermind. He said he would be practicing. He's most likely at the Very Big Circus tent. But first, Agent Lang, I have a request. A request? What is it? Now that we've identified the giant monster, our next order of business is to capture it. The moment we arrive to the tent, I need you to locate that specific item post-haste. And Detective, I ask that you perform a follow-up investigation on the kidnapping incident. Roger that, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, I want to help out too. In that case, you'll be in charge of calling for backup. If he truly is the mastermind, we may require assistance from a certain someone. A certain someone? I met him so many times, yet his facade always fooled me into sympathy. He may have got the better of me in the past. But this time, I'll settle it once and for all. Holy ass flap! What is this game gonna freaking do to me? Buh! Okay, so we have definitely been exposed to a lot of very interesting information. I have no idea where any of this is going, how it's going to conclude, but if it's anything like every other single moment that this game has provided me up to this point, it's going to be phenomenal, I'll tell you that much. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth! Are you guys here for the show? Mr. Keys, Miss Barry. Whoa. I'm dealing with a murderous clown. Who'd have thunk I would have gone up against two so rapidly? Huh. Alright. You're a little early. I'm sorry, but we're still getting ready. But I'm so happy you came. You remembered our promise. Yeah, sure, let's say that's why I did it. Yes, I remembered. You asked us to come and see the show when you gave me this. That was a bad idea, by the way. I'm so happy you came. Please enjoy yourselves. I'm sure my performance will surprise you, Mr. Edgeworth. Your performance has certainly surprised a few people of some things. Your performance has already surprised me, Mr. Keys. Thank you, Edgy. But he hasn't performed yet. Regina, please have a look at this photo. Is this balloon the property of the Very Big Circus? Ah, it is! Did you see it flying around somewhere? It's highly likely that this balloon was used by the culprit in the case we are investigating. Huh? Who was in charge of the balloon? Well, that would be Simon, but... Are you saying... Mr. Keys, you flew this balloon in the middle of the night, did you not? I do occasionally practice alone at night. I'm not much of a pilot, though. I'm a little clumsy. So for practice, you'll do something as challenging as flying a balloon at night. Wouldn't that be rather difficult for someone who is clumsy and not much of a pilot? Then, what do you think I was doing, Mr. Edgeworth? I have the theory! You brought Kay to the roof of the Grand Tower in order to frame her for the murder of Jill Crane. Not a single security camera recorded Kay using the elevator. Therefore, the only way she could have gotten up there was through flight. And the only one who could have flown her up there was you, Mr. Keys. No way. Mr. Edgeworth, how can you say that? And that's not all. You drugged John at the garbage pickup and kidnapped him. Wasn't that why you were late when you came to watch the trial of Patricia Rowland? No way! I have no idea what you're saying. There's no way I could do things like that. Please believe me, Mr. Edgeworth. Please. He really is just trying to play the pity card. I wanted to believe you. However, you have broken that trust yourself. That's horrible. Why would you say that? Didn't you once say that you would trust me? That you believe in me? Don't you worry about that. We're your allies. That's because we're like birds of a feather. Right, Mr. Edgeworth? Birds of a feather, huh? I suppose that's true. We have sufficient information about your past. I doubt you had a motive to kill Knightley. Rather, you are probably the most affected by his death. And I doubt someone as timid as you could work up the courage to murder someone. Unless you're just a damn good actor, I guess. Alright, I'll get you out of here. We'll believe in you. I'm so sad. Those words were all lies. It wasn't a lie! We really did trust you. Hey, even you? You said we were like birds of a feather, and yet... I'm hurt, Kay. You've hurt me deeply. Mr. Edgeworth, maybe Simon isn't a bad guy after all? I feel like this is part of his thing. I don't believe it. You see, so that's how you operate. I understand now all too well. No matter who you face, you find an emotional weakness and exploit it. You guide each person towards the outcome you desire without them even noticing it. That is how you were able to mastermind the entire case. I may have fallen for your tricks before, but not this time. Simon Keyes, I indict you! So it's come to this after all. You were always so full of confidence, Mr. Edgeworth. But I rather like that. Because now, I can rip that confidence to shreds. Here we go! Welp! Good work, everyone. His personality has completely changed. So, the animal tamer who could not tame animals, that was all a facade. This is the real Simon Keyes. Simon, that's not true, is it? Truth or lie? What difference does it make? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth just made me a little upset, that's all. Man's got style, I'll give him that much. You'll take responsibility for upsetting me, right? Okay. It's true. I practiced with the balloon 2 nights ago. That photo must have been taken when the balloon and I passed near the building. I often fly around that area for advertising purposes. There's nothing unusual about that, right? You often fly around the Grand Tower in the balloon? Yeah, even the circus needs to advertise. Regina, is that true? Yep, it was Simon's job to advertise using the balloon. Most people who live around here should have seen it. That balloon was used in the crime we are investigating. Well, that would explain why, like, I was confused for a bit there because it didn't make any sense to me how he could fly a giant-ass balloon like that and nobody would have noticed it. It's not that nobody noticed it, it's that just people were used to it. Like I said, it's just a coincidence. I simply happened to pass by the Grand Tower when that photo was taken. I shall determine whether or not it was a coincidence after I hear your full story. Okay. I'm going to press things, I think. I think that's the right way to go about it. Was the balloon launched from this tent? There's a nice big park near the Sunshine Coliseum. I always launch the balloon there. I see. In that case, how do you transport the balloon to the park? Well, it's too heavy to carry by hand. It weighs several hundred pounds. Yet it can fly in the sky. Amazing, isn't it? I asked you how you transported it. Now answer the question. I can't even make some small talk. You're mean, Mr. Edgeworth. He used a truck. Not gonna lie, I really, really freaking hate two-faced people. Really badly. Shades of On Guard, but obviously significantly worse. He used a truck. The balloon is loaded onto the back of the truck. A truck? Yeah. The last time I took the truck and the balloon out was 2 days ago. Cannot overlook that piece of testimony. Last time I took the truck. Alright, is that really the case, huh? Is that really the case? Because I got a truck in my inventory and I've been meaning to use it. The truck you put the balloon into. Was it blue by any chance? Blue? So what if it is? Today we saw a blue truck carrying a large basket. If that truck just so happened to be yours, then your claim that you last used it 2 days ago becomes a lie. Interesting, ain't it? Emma! Agent Lang! Emma! Oh, is she the certain someone? Mr. Edgeworth! Finally found you! I've been searching for you ever since the incident yesterday. It dashed right over after Kay contacted me just a little while ago. I didn't even know she had your contact info. Prosecute Edgeworth. The thing you were looking for. I found it. It was placed in a blue truck at the dressing room parking lot. Thank you! A blue truck, as I suspected. That truck is, without a doubt, the one I saw today. You have an objection? There are a number of blue trucks out there, you know. Who's to say you're not mistaking it for a different one? It's definitely that one. I got a good look at it. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, was that? It wasn't me. What? Okay, words have no strength without evidence to back them up. You can mimic people? Yeah, that's Mr. Edgeworth's voice. Evidence. Present evidence. Do I have any evidence to prove that this was the truck I saw today? That much I don't think we do, no. Huh? What's wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Why are you touching the truck? The truck's body is cold to the touch. It seems to have been parked here for some time. You can figure all that out just by touching it? What could prove that this is the truck I saw? Oh! Oh, yeah! Yo, yeah, Edgeworth's fingerprints should be on it, yeah? I'd like to dust the truck for fingerprints. Eh? Fingerprints? What for? I don't see any point in that. Yeah, I bet you wouldn't. A certain person's fingerprints should be left on this truck. And these fingerprints will prove the truck was parked in front of the Grand Tower today. Whose fingerprints prove this truck was in front of the tower? Miles Lotus. Edgeworth? Your fingerprints? Indeed. Earlier today, I touched a truck at the plaza in front of the Grand Tower. I'd like to dust for my prints. Emma, might I request a scientific investigation? Oh, hell yeah! You talk about language, son! Alright, we're all set. Go ahead, Mr. Edgeworth. Wait, you want me to do it? Of course! Who else but Mr. Edgeworth would be up to the task? Here, I'll show you how it's done. Alright then. You're the scientist, why don't you just do it yourself? First, we sprinkle some aluminum powder over the area you want to investigate. Like this. Shimmy sham. Touch the screen to sprinkle the aluminum powder. The powder will adhere to the fingerprints, so once you've sprinkled enough, you blow it away. Blow it away? Yeah, just blow on it with your breath. Poosh! Am I gonna be able to do that? I'll figure something out. Blow the power away by blowing into the microphone. We'll find out real fast. Got it? I mean, I know there is a workaround. I'm not sure. Yes, I think so. I guess we'll do it for real this time. Just so you know, the key point is to sprinkle the powder all over. All right. And we're sprinkling. And we're sprinkling. I'm gonna absolutely coat this stuff. I'm gonna waste all your aluminum powder. You can't stop me. Nothing nowhere is gonna stop my styles. Okay, so then... Hey, I'm not sure what I'm doing. What am I doing to... I was somehow able to make it go away through a certain vibration of my voice? E-I-E-I-O, speaking words loudly into the microphone. Hi-oh, Silverfin, go! There we go, that worked. We got one! That's a nice clean fingerprint. Let's run the prints against mine post-haste. All right, just leave it to me. One science later. And apparently one power gem found later. These are definitely your fingerprints, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, seems to me that we have just proven your statement to be a lie, you lying liar man. Oh dear God, he's dual-wielding rabbits. What were you doing when you were driving this truck around? Strong-ass squirrel. Just taking it for a joyride. That's a load of pooey. He was abducted 2 nights ago. Your balloon was sighted not far from the scene. Today, there was another kidnapping in which a garbage truck was used. And once again, your truck was seen nearby. Ain't that interesting? This all sounds like nothing more than a pure coincidence to me. So it was pure coincidence that you parked near 2 separate kidnappings? I doubt that. You were involved in both kidnappings, weren't you? Isn't it a bit rash to automatically assume that the 2 kidnappings were connected? And what if I had evidence to prove that the 2 crimes were performed by the same culprit? Oh, you're serious? I can't wait to hear this. Ew. What did Kay and John's kidnapping have in common? Well, they were both drugged. That much is obvious. Do I actually even have the drug? I do! I forgot I even had this. Man, finally, all the evidence I've been carrying around is actually useful for something. Kay was knocked out with a powerful sleeping drug, and a bottle of sleeping drugs was found lying in the place where John was confined. The contents of the bottle were a match with the drugs used on Kay. Objection. So that's all you got, huh? And here I was getting my hopes up. So the same sleeping drugs were used? So what? You think that connects the 2 incidents? Surely you must realize it yourself. That doesn't prove a thing. There must be something. Evidence that proves he is connected to those cases. The police, prosecutors, and even you, Mr. Edgeworth, in the end, you're all the same. You make up evidence as you see fit, just so you can send some poor soul to prison. Isn't there someone like that here? A poor soul who was wrongly accused in the past? Objection! I mean, yes, you're wrong. Who would do such a thing? Objection! Ah, then show me the evidence. If you're gonna accuse me of a crime, it's only natural. It's no use. Can't seem to find any of the threads linking him to the kidnappings. Now then, if you finally run out of ammo, Mr. Edgeworth, only momentarily, I'm sure I'll pull something out of somewhere. I still have preparations to make at the circus, so if you'll excuse me. Objection. Suddenly, Ray. Now, you 2, no need to get so heated. And Simon, you're looking good in that clown makeup. Hey, what's your deal? Don't just butt in like that. But I'm Ray. It's what I do. Well, you know, that neat paper. Uncle Ray's not so good in such a stiff environment. I mean, why so serious, right? Yeah, okay, you get a pass. He's at least a clown. Hey, Kay, how about a little trick? At last, my moment has arrived. The great Kay Faraday presents a Simon impression. Objection. What? Why you? Enough already. Psst. Hey, Miles. I'm buying you some time to get all your ducks in a row. There's probably a better way to stall for time than this, but whatevs. Woo! Nice one, Kay! I'm not sure about this method either, but whatever, it seems to be working. But I have to find something that connects Simon to the case. And I need to find it now. Is there evidence not related to the kidnappings that's connected to the mastermind's identity? That's it! The mastermind is the same person that's the young acolyte Dogen was looking for. If I can just connect the young acolyte to Simon. Which piece of evidence could be connected with the mastermind's true identity? That would be the memo, yeah? Yeah, I think it should be. Nedley and Dogen both communicated through a certain individual. Oh. Then that somebody must be the mastermind behind the case. That's it. The mastermind played a role in the correspondence chess. If I can prove that it was Simon, then... That's enough! I can't stomach any more of your sorry excuse for a performance. If you have no more objections, then I ask that you let me get back to preparing for the show. Objection! Shut your face, son! Thank you for the help, Mr. Shields. Though you may have taken it a little too far. You sure look happy. I take it you found something? Look at me, I'm Simon. Simon's a clown. The funny, funny clown. Okay, you can stop now. Now then, Mr. Keys, do you happen to like chess? That was rather out of the blue. Since you asked, I can't say that I dislike chess. The mastermind played correspondence chess with Sirhan Dogen. If I recall, it was Knightley who had been playing chess with Dogen, wasn't it? Are you saying that he was the mastermind? Nay. There was no way Knightley could have been the mastermind. He was much too stupid. The reason being, the mastermind had continued to work behind the scenes even after Knightley's death. That being the case, who could have written this letter? I believe someone acted as the middleman between Dogen and Knightley. So, you're saying that you think I'm the middleman? Just why would I have to go through all the trouble and do something like that? Most likely to make it appear as if there was a connection between Knightley and Dogen. And, as a result, Knightley was killed by Patricia Rowland. No way, are you saying it was all set up so that he would be killed by her? What are you saying? There's no way I can manipulate a person that far. Look at me. It takes all I have just to get animals to perform tricks. God, stop making that face. If only just a scrap of the letters he exchanged with Knightley still remains. It'd be decisive evidence. I'd like to investigate your room. It could be decisive. He's not gonna allow for that. If it's the letters you're looking for, you won't find any in there. What? I'm the type of guy who throws his letters away as soon as he's done reading them. There's the point in living in the past. Does that mean he's already gotten rid of the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, everything you have said so far has been nothing more than baseless conjecture. The evidence, just one step behind it. What should I do? Am I all out of moves? Without evidence, I won't allow you to cast doubt on my friendship with Knightley. But who's that? Excuse me, Regina? Miss Barry? What's on her mind? I've been listening in on what you were all saying, and when you say Mr. Knightley, you mean Simon's friend, Mr. Knightley, right? Yes, that's correct. Does she know something? This morning, a letter arrived for Mr. Knightley. It was for Simon. What? What did you say? But that's impossible. Knightley's already dead. Miss Barry, please let me see that letter. It's kind of important. Okay, here you go. Thank you, Regina. Man, I always knew you were awesome. I don't care what other people have to say. This is a correspondence chess letter. This is the response to Dogen's last move. Now can you see the path to the checkmate? I can't wait to see the look on your face. You weren't expecting to lose at chess against me, right? The postmark says March 26th, the day before Knightley's death. It seems the letter arrived late. Since the circus moves around so much, a lot of the mail people send us arrive late. Now, why was this letter addressed to you? Damn, that's extraordinarily convenient. Loving it. This is proof that you were the middleman between Dogen and Knightley. Normally, you would transcribe this letter into Braille before sending it to Dogen. And in doing so, you created a connection between him and Knightley.
Damn it! You, Knightley, why must you continue to interfere?
Simon, why? Wasn't Knightley your only friend? Don't be ridiculous. I stopped thinking of him as a friend 18 years ago. 18 years ago? Would that have been the day of the IS-7 incident? Oh, yeah, you know, that makes some sense. Thanks to Knightley, I nearly died that day in the snowstorm. I was on my way to the contest venue where my father was waiting. Knightley suddenly appeared. He held me down, tied up my hands and feet, and with tears streaming down his face. He kept apologizing. My dad's too scary. I can't disobey him. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Stop it, Horace. I promised my dad. I said I'd taste his desserts. If I'm not there, Dad'll be in trouble. I'm gonna let everyone know my dad's desserts are the best in the world. After that, he locked us inside a car. It was so cold I could see my own breath. Well, that's not exactly that. He doesn't have to be that cold for that to happen. Before we knew it, the doors had frozen shut, and not even he could get them open. And then I lost my father. What? Your father? Horace Knightley was the son of the murderer who killed my father. Wait. What? What could this mean? That's the opposite of what should be. What? This confession runs contrary to the information we have. But the name of the victim in the IS-7 incident was Isaac Dover. Isaac Dover is my father's name. 18 years ago, my memories were muddled from the shock of my near-death experience. So it wasn't until later that I learned the truth. On that day, my father was murdered. But that doesn't make any sense. The culprit of the IS-7 incident was a confectioner by the name of Dane Gustavia. So that was the name of Knightley's father. That low-life scum of the earth killed my father. Just the thought of him makes me sick. That is not what How muddled are your memories? So you knew who the culprit was all along? Of course not. Had I known, I would have tipped off the police a long time ago. All I knew was that Knightley's father was trying to set up my own father. And that's why I immediately knew that the only one who died that day was my dad. Knightley had a hand in my father's murder, that traitor. He was the son of a killer. It's only natural that he ended up dead. Did you commit a bunch of crimes because you got your brain jumbled and you... Because, no, dude, you have to be Gustavia's kid. It would appear that you are a victim of a very serious misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? What are you talking about? Isaac Dover, at the time, he was actively working as a sculptor in France, under the name Pierre Huquet. Is that right? Well, I'm sorry to say I don't remember that at all. It's only natural you don't remember. After all, he's not your real father. Huh? Was that supposed to be a joke? I'm not amused. You won't be able to laugh at all once I reveal the truth to you. Yeah, no, okay, yeah, this piece of evidence proves that you are not Isaac Dover. Yeah, no, hang on, it should be... Here we go, the ring. Would have been delivered to you, then. What's that? Isn't that Knightley's chessboard and his ring? I want you to take a good look at this ring's design. There are 2 letters inscribed in it. That is the seal Pierre Huquet used as his signature. 18 years ago, it was found lying near the body of Isaac Dover. Why would Knightley have my father's memento with him? The police had found Isaac Dover's son and gave it to him. Isaac Dover's real son is Horace Knightley. What? But that means I'm... In other words, you are Dane Gustavia's son, you absolute psychopath. That's a lie! After all, my father is... My memories are incredibly messed up and jumbled by your own admission. I lost my father because Knightley locked me up in the car. That's why I thought it would be fitting if he were killed as well. Really? I'll be able to see a circus show even in prison? Huh. I enjoy playing chess with you, but I'm looking forward to your performance as well. Yes, please look forward to it. All right, you better drop by again. I'll be thinking about my next move. Oh yeah, I've left something special inside that chessboard for you. You should check it out later. Something special? I'm not quite sure what you mean, but thanks. I owe you one, Simon. If only you hadn't stopped me 18 years ago, it wouldn't have had to come to this. Did you say something? Nope, not a word. Goodbye, Horace. Yeah, you literally orchestrated the murder of somebody who... Okay, I'm not gonna say he did nothing wrong, because he is a murderer himself, but still, after all that... You're saying it was my father who killed Knightley's? That means... Was it all for nothing? I didn't want to become some weakling who could be killed by anyone. That's why I thought I'd follow in Mr. Dogen's footsteps. This finally proves it. Simon Keyes, you are Dogen's correspondence chess partner. And that mastermind behind this case. That's right. It was me. I'm the mastermind behind it all. He's finally showing his true colors. As you all know, I witnessed the incident 12 years ago. President Huang's assassination. So the child who drew that picture was Simon Keyes. When I was found out, I was subjected to horrible interrogations over and over by that heartless Patricia. I'd spend the nights trembling in my bed, terrified of what the next day would bring. I'm sure you can understand why I'd want to sneak out of there, right? However, Blaze would have likely sent pursuers after you. Exactly! I was on the run from them every waking moment. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I couldn't even sleep at night. I'd jump at the slightest noise. And that's why I became a circus performer. Blaze DeBest was the chief prosecutor and Patricia Rowland was the warden of the prison. No ordinary person would be a match for those two. There were no adults I could rely on. Furthermore, behind the scenes was the body double who had set those two in motion. Though he was a fake, I was up against a nation's president. Talk about utter despair, right? Ugh, you really gotta push that button? My only ally was Mr. Dogen. He saved my life after all. He actually helped me out, unlike Knightley. If this story is true, it's ironic. Dogen, the fiendish assassin, was idolized by the child he saved. If I followed in his footsteps, I'd no longer have to worry about being eaten alive. That's right. Now it's my turn. My turn to devour those who would feed upon me. And I suppose you never thought to seek help from the police. No way, no way. As long as Blaze was around, any evidence would be destroyed by him. I mean, you're not wrong, but still. Actually, didn't something like that almost happen today during Patricia's trial? Yeah, I knew from the very beginning that things would turn out like this. Evidence from Patricia Rowland's trial. So he's saying that he expected the evidence would be destroyed. I see. So that's why you kidnapped John. To force a guilty verdict even in the absence of evidence.
Objection.
Who's to say? But in order to expose the crimes of 12 years ago, there was no other choice. That's according to you. However, Blaze also attempted to kidnap John in order to manipulate the trial in his favor. Your methods are no different than those of the people you so despise.
Objection.
That's only if I were actually the kidnapper. But I would never do anything so evil. No way, no way, no way. I just simply couldn't. Besides, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm actually quite thankful to the real criminals. For giving me the opportunity to exact such sweet revenge. So you admit it. Your motive was revenge. Yeah, I admit it, so what? Sure, I held a grudge against those creeps. But it's not like I'm the one who actually killed them, you know. Oh. Truth be told, all I did was send some letters. I let Jill in on Blaze's secrets, and let Blaze in on Jill's secrets. And then the two simply ended up trying to kill each other. Do you mean to say that the murder was nothing more than a result of that? Yep, just like the case at Gourd Lake. It's way easier than trying to control wild animals. All I did was come up with the fake assassination plan for Knightley. So that was also part of his plan. Everything was part of his plan. Every case is connected and my brain hurts. If that's the case, then Rook's murder was also your...
Objection.
Whoa! Don't try to pin that on me. Knightley killed them all on his own. Well, it ended up creating the perfect opportunity for me. It's funny how things work out. How can you say such a thing? It was the same for Patricia Rowland. And I made it look like there was a connection between Knightley and Dogen. By using the correspondence chess match and the chisel in the chessboard. What? You mean to say that you were the one who prepared that chisel? Is that not obvious by this point? That's right! I thought it would bring Dogen to mind. Quite a thoughtful little gift, wouldn't you agree? And that was all it took to get Patricia to murder Knightley. Oh, the feeling that everyone around you is an enemy. I know it all too well. The tiniest spark can set off an explosion of fear, resulting in horrific mutual destruction. All I did was watch the comedy of errors unfold from the audience. And you were my final pawn, Mr. Edgeworth. Pawn? Me? When you solved their cases, you brought both Blaze and Patricia to their ruin. And the weapon that delivered the coup de grace was your own logic. I didn't solve those cases for your sake. Oh, I know. You never really cared about saving me. You just wanted to pretend to be a defense attorney, didn't you? Okay, now you're going too far. I mean, you already went way too far, but now you're being an actual asshole. What did you... All I had to do was go, no way, no way, no way, and act all scared. And you totally believed me. You were giving it your all trying to save me. So even your arrest was just a ploy to make me use my logic. To be fair, getting arrested wasn't part of the plan. When people began to suspect that the chisel I sent was the murder weapon, honestly, I broke out in a cold sweat. I thought for sure it would be curtains for me. But then a turnabout of miraculous proportions. The genius prosecutor himself had come to my rescue. Hell, doesn't it feel nice to be thanked by me, the one that you saved? You should be grateful. I gave you this chance to play the ace attorney. You're wrong. He wasn't pretending to be a defense attorney. Mr. Edgeworth is always serious about saving people. Even the times when he saved me in the past. Okay. Yeah! Is that so? Are you sure he's not just trying to emulate his own father, the one he admires so much? Absolutely not. That's not true at all. Oh, no, okay. The person he's talking about now isn't Miles, but rather Simon himself. Clearly he's not able to trust others. The desire to save someone other than himself is something he cannot even comprehend. Say what you want. Make sure you think about it long and hard. Sure, all my targets for revenge got what they deserved in the end. However... Oh.